So Coach Jones, man, appreciate you hanging with me, man. I definitely want to get to your question. Lay it out for me, man. I know you was talking about the 4-4 defense and talking about flexing it to the 6-2 defense. Let me know, how can I help? What's your question?
Okay, so it's really a lot. Let me I will
Okay.
lay out the groundwork, and then I'll let you just go at it.
Sure.
So like I mentioned last year, I coached 7U, and I was given the offense halfway through the year. Implemented the Beast offense. That's how I found you and everything. This
Appreciate you, brother.
year, and we had a small team, undersized, very few really good athletes on the team, so it worked for us. And then this year I come to this organization. They're the head coach. He's probably mid 70s, and then
Mhm.
there's a OC that works for the rec department, and his son's on the team. Um, so where did I start with this? There doesn't seem to be any organization. Like the offensive playbook is very complicated for these kids. It's there's not one formation that's the same, and it's spread, single back. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
So it's no wonder they're confused. But and the good thing about this team, I told you, is a big team. We have a lot of great athletes, and the way we got beat 32-6 last night, and it was the defense, but as well as we were giving them the ball in their own side of the field all night. We had 13, 14, 15 guys on the field, and the reason for that is in the practices they have me practicing with a certain set of players as the
Mhm.
defense. Well, when we get into the game, and the offensive coordinator is like, I want the offensive line to play defensive line. So he's telling the kids that. So that's the first issue. And then they're sending kids on the field and not telling them to pull anyone. And so everyone's just
Pause right
looking
there,
at
coach.
me
Pause
like,
right there, coach, for me, real quick. I'm sorry to cut you off. So let me make sure I
sir,
got you right. He wanted the offensive line to play D line. My question to you on that is, do they practice D line at all?
no, sir. We've been practicing.
Mm.
They've been practicing on the offense pretty much every chance that they could get because it's so complicated. They're not getting it. I had to
Gotcha.
inform the team, the blockers, the line can't block 5 yards down the field if you're uh, running a passing play.
Hmm.
So it's just like small stuff like that. They've been drilling it, but he's like, we need the size out there. We need to see what we have. And I'm like the third or fourth coach to sign up, so I'm kind of having to roll with whatever they're doing and knowing it's messed up. But then after last night, the head coach basically told me I had the defense. And so I came home and I just wrote out my starters, who I wanted as the starters. I sent it in the group chat. So the parents have told the kids, those are the starters for now. And we're going to compete for it in practice. And
Wow. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, you got a lot going on there. You got a lot going on. Quick question. Do you know this team's record last year? Their win-loss record?
I know that they didn't have a very good season. My nephew actually played on this team last year. And both of my
Mhm.
nephews, one was the quarterback, one was the running back, and they're the best players on the team. They've moved back to another school this year. And
Got you.
I know that their record wasn't very good, but in our league, it doesn't matter your record. Everyone goes to the playoffs, and
Hmm.
then you can win out to win the whole thing. And so they made it to the championship last year and lost to a private
Got you.
school.
Cool. Cool. Okay. So you got a few things going on. Um, you know, number one, I got this motto. Everybody, anybody who's been on the show for a while, probably heard me say this. You win games at practice. You win games at practice, and if you don't practice well, it will expose you on game day every single time. It will bite you in the ass, right? And especially, I say this a lot. Being an O-line, I'm the head coach of my program, president of my programs, but I'm the O-line coach on my team, right? If those big boys are not trained to execute in whatever area they're in, like, for example, if they're offensive linemen, guards and tackles, and they haven't practiced to be a defensive tackle or a DN, it's going to be a struggle for them to adapt and adjust because it takes a different skill set to be effective. Just being big isn't enough, right? Just, occupying space isn't big enough. You got to know what you're doing, especially if you're going against a team that knows what they're doing. And I know you said the score was 32-6. And that says a lot. It don't just say anything about the defense, but as an offensive minded coach, the first thing I think about is, okay, they wasn't able to score. You know what I mean? They wasn't able to score. And to your point, if they're running spread, single back, single wing, whatever they're running, and there's no core plays there, right? There's no mastery there to where it creates efficiency. Now you got problems on your hand, right? So now I know that and now I'm walking it back to what you just told me. You know who you want to start, and you got to earn it at practice. What is the first step that you're trying to accomplish with this squad? And, how do you want me to help in this regard? Because I'm an open book for you.
Okay, so first of all, what would you do in a similar situation to where you don't want to step on anyone's toes? You're not the head coach or anything, but at the same time, you have to tell these guys, there has to be, you can't run one play out of every formation and expect these boys to be able
Right.
to pick it up. And then also, like, just I don't know, like, they gave me the defense, but I don't, the other coach, the OC, he's kind of putting himself in there.
Got you. So the first thing that you need to do, coach, is hold on, coach. If y'all listening right now, I want y'all, if y'all kind of been in and out and tuning in and out, I want y'all to really listen to this, because I'm about to give y'all a leadership lesson that's going to last y'all throughout your whole coaching career. And this, I wish I would have learned this early on as a coach. It took me probably year 5, 6 to learn this. Okay. Sometimes you have to be the asshole. Okay. Sometimes you have to be the asshole, because if not, another asshole is going to make you uncomfortable and try to take you out of your spot. You got me? If you play, the nice, respectful role, which you should lead with respect, but if you play the nice passive role, the asshole, somebody who's trying to take your spot, they're gonna try to do it, and many times they'll do it, right? So the first piece of advice that I would give you, coach, is I want you to own the position you're in. You take pride in being that defensive coordinator and taking over that defense. Focus on your side, right? Focus on mastering your side, because the more they're able to see the results that you produce on your side, that only boosts your credibility up. Okay. And the more credibility you got, and the more they stink it up on the offensive side of the ball, it's now going to build just natural opportunities for you to communicate with that offensive coordinator or the head coach that, hey, coach, it's just my observation. Can we, set some core plays? All we need is 4 or 5. Can we do 4 or 5 core plays and just kind of see how it works? That's kind of how I do it with my defense, you know, and you see the outcomes we got, you know. Now, I'm telling you, as you begin to talk to this head coach about it, he may be receptive, he may not. Many cases, they don't be. I'm telling you right now, being real with you, okay? Because here's the thing. The friction that you're running into right now is there's a lack of alignment with you and him as it relates to your coaching philosophy, right? The reason why a lot of
Right.
guys, a lot of you guys are watching this show and y'all tune into the show and y'all anticipate the show, right? Is because y'all align with me in a lot of ways. Y'all may not agree with everything that I teach or everything that I say, but yeah, the majority of things I teach and I say, y'all align with, y'all agree with, so y'all rock with me, right? So what happens sometimes when you are, you know, an OC or a DC, and you got a head coach that got a completely different coaching philosophy, it creates friction, right? And what's going to happen is if you talk to him now and he's not ready for it, it's going to create more friction. You're going to get more frustrated and you're going to start losing respect for him as the weeks go by. He's going to start losing respect for you as the weeks go by. And before you know it, there's fallout. And that's when bull crap happened at the end of the week. I mean, end of the season, where you start seeing these coaches fighting each other, parents beefing, all the bull crap. It's because there's been so much friction and disrespect. And just like an earthquake, when there's friction, the program can't stand. It implodes on itself. So I would say, coach, focus on your new job, your new assignment, ball out. Because if you shut down a team, let's say your next game, right? You shut down a team and it's freaking, they only put up a touchdown on y'all, but y'all can't score nothing. That's not on you, right? That's going to be on who's over the offense, and it's going to create more opportunities for you to be able to speak. That makes sense?
Yes, sir. And now I will say it's not like they're totally we're button heads or anything like that. Because I have tried to be respectful, and they're respectful as well. It's just they have favoritism type things, like they want a player that's not that fast to be rushing the edge
Mm-hmm.
versus a smart heady player that's got really good speed and a sure tackler. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like a little because the kids played with them in the past.
Yeah,
So
and
they have set positions for these kids that they want them to play, which I have no problem with. It's just like you have to rotate these guys in.
right. And the thing is, coach, y'all not button heads yet, but it gets worse and worse the more you lose. And now everybody's trying to search for answers, right? And see, to your credit, let me give you some credit on this. To your credit, you're trying to find answers, right? You're trying to find answers. Well, they may not have a coach beast they're trying to find answers with. So they're trying to find answers. And I'm gonna share this story with you. And then I'm gonna get to the rest of you guys' questions. I have started your questions, guys. So I'm gonna get to y'all questions in 1 sec. You know, I was a part of my daughter's softball team. I just, I wasn't even planning the coach on the team, but I ended up being the third base coach. They didn't know who I was. They didn't, I don't lead with I'm Coach Beast, right? So I'm on the team and, I'm seeing all this stuff, go on at practice. And I'm like, Lord, it's so frustrating. But I just sat back quiet and I watched and I seen how these guys practice soft as just bad practices, no fundamentals, nothing, right? So the more that they lost, the more the coaches getting mad at each other, mad at the refs, punching walls. They're mad, they're punching walls. And I'm sitting here, I'm talking to my wife. I'm like, man, they're not practicing well. They're not preparing these kids. They got talent, but they don't have the kids in the right position. The batting lineup is off really bad. And, I'm just sitting here, because Coach Beast, I just want to support my daughter, right? So what happens is, as the season goes along, you're going to start seeing them get more and more frustrated. They're going to try to find First of all, they're going to try to find solutions. When they can't find solutions, they're going to start pointing fingers. And that's when things get worse and worse and worse and worse. This is your second year coaching, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Year 2, you're going to learn a lot this year, coach. You're going to learn a lot. This is what I want you to do. I want you to have fun on this journey as a DC. You're going to learn a lot as to what to do, what not to do. You're going to learn how to stay focused. You're going to learn how to really analyze things, and you're going to learn how to handle things as a leader and as a champ. Okay, coach. So I want you to hang like this year. Just sit back, watch, learn. You don't even have to say much. Just let it play out. But you do your thing. You hear me? You just do your thing. Let it play out. Don't get yourself caught up in all the BS and the noise that you're going to see. And mark my words, in about 2-3 weeks, when you're back on the show, you're gonna say, Coach B, man, bro, how you know? I'm an OG in this game. I've been there. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes,
Coach,
sir.
man, I hope that helped, man.